Don't miss Western Canada's largest business-to-business platform connecting the holistic building industry. Gain access to over 250 industry leaders showcasing new technologies and innovations at BUILDEX Vancouver. Connect with agriculture, engineering, construction, home builder renovators, and property management professionals. Learn from 150 plus industry experts through over 80 seminars and panel discussions on what's happening across Western Canada's built environment. Select seminars, keynotes, and workshops are accredited for continuing education credits. BUILDEX Vancouver takes place on Wednesday, February 15th and Thursday, February 16th at the Vancouver Convention Centre. Tickets are available at buildexvancouver.com. We are officially less than 100 days from the largest construction family reunion in North America. That's right, ConExpo ConAg is going to be here before we know it. See and test the new equipment. Ask the technical experts. Find out what your business will be using tomorrow. Make the connections that matter. If you haven't registered yet, there's still time to secure your tickets. Visit conexpoconag.com or click the link on the show notes and use promo code podcast20 to get 20% off. That's right, 20% off with promo code podcast20. If you already have your tickets to the show, join us and comment on our daily commercial news, Journal of Commerce, and Construction Record podcast, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram feeds to let us know you're going to be there and what you're most excited to see. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Construction Record Podcast. I'm digital media editor Warren Frey. With me today, I have
James Wyatt, show director for the BUILDEX series of shows.
Jordan DeBarros, the conference producer for the BUILDEX series of shows.
And we're doing this podcast because BUILDEX Vancouver is coming up pretty quickly. It's going to be in just a few weeks. It's maybe actually, guys, why don't you tell me when it's going to be happening and where it's going to be happening?
Yeah, no problem, Warren. Thanks. So BUILDEX Vancouver, we're returning on February 15th and 16th at the Vancouver Convention Centre. So that's about 2 weeks away, and registration is most definitely open.
And one of the things I've gone to several of them, and I think I went to one in Calgary as well. And anyway, one of the things that you have as a showcase is the educational session. So maybe you could go into some of the highlight educational sessions. I know there's always keynotes, so we could talk about those as well. But also there's other areas of study that change year to year depending on what people need to know.
Totally, yeah. Well, so all the keynotes and the educational conference program, which Jordan's our expert there, so I'm going to hand over to him shortly. But they are all centered around 4 key themes for 2023. So most people maybe don't know that all of our themes and that central idea around around which the program is orientated, they change every year. So so this year, 4 key themes: climate resiliency and retrofits, decarbonization and electrification, innovative building technologies, so things like mass timber construction, modular and offsite, DFMA, VDC, etc. And then the final theme this year is workforce solutions. And then with that, I think, Jordan, you've probably got some great insights on the rest of the educational conference program.
Yeah, thanks, James. So I just want to emphasize our program selling fast. We've got continuing education credits again this year from our partners AIBC, PMI, BC Housing, IDCC, BOMI, and new this year, engineers and geoscientists of BC are recognizing the value of our education program. So engineers will be able to collect certain learning credits. So Wednesday, we've got some great seminars: mass timber today and tomorrow, a contractor's approach to prefabrication and modular. Mark Gaglione and Vincent Davenport from Ellis Dawn Construction will be presenting that. That one's almost sold out just due to the popularity of the theme. 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. 10:30 a.m. we're pleased to have a panel of construction experts, including Rick Hanson from A Man in Motion, and it's presented by British Columbia Construction Association. It's called Power to Build: When Owners and Contractors Work Together, Great Outcomes Are Possible. And that's 10:30 a.m., session code W17. 1 p.m., we've got a great seminar called Stories and Solutions of How Development Obstacles Impact the Construction Industry, presented by Azure Properties. 2:30 p.m., we have 2020 editions of the National Model Codes, What to Expect. So there'll be some key updates on that, and that'll be presented by Vicky Commissar from the National Research Council. And then on Thursday, if that weren't enough seminars for you, 9 a.m., the state of prefabrication in Canada. That'll be presented by Craig Mitchell from Black Box Offsite Solutions. So prefabrication's been a very emerging technology in construction in BC for the past few years. So he'll be talking about some updates on that and what we can expect. 10:30 a.m. we have Bill Woodhead, who will be presenting a seminar on construction contracts 101. So always a popular, well-attended session that's almost sold out as well. Few spots remaining. 1 p.m. our friends at Denton's LLP will be presenting a seminar called The Best Offense is a Strong Defense, how to be ready for large construction disputes. So there's been a lot of issues in the past few years, past year specifically, on project delays and things of that nature. So they'll be going over some resolutions for construction disputes. And then finally at 2:30, our friends at Kindred Construction are presenting a seminar called Bringing Rapid Affordable Housing to First Nation Communities Through Modular Construction. So they're talking about a very fascinating project they did on a First Nation community that was almost all modular based, and then the outcomes it achieved for affordable housing.
Now, you also have keynotes every year, construction and architecture, and what are those going to be this year?
Yeah, great question. So the keynote for construction is going to be on Wednesday, February 15th from 2:30 to 3:30. It's free to attend on our main stage, and it's called Critical Updates on 3 Key Issues Affecting Today's Construction Industry. So those issues we identified in our research are permitting issues and solutions. So talking about delays for permitting, but more importantly, how to solve them. Supplementary conditions and prompt payment legislation. We've got 3 great presenters on this keynote. David Volk, the construction lawyer and partner with JML LLP. Tim Rice, the Chief Buildings Officer for the City of North Vancouver. So they'll be talking about some permitting issues and plans they have that they've solved and will continue to solve in the near future. And then a very popular speaker as well, Scott Kennedy, the principal of Cornerstone Architecture, which is a great segue into our architecture keynote, which is 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Thursday, February 16th. Again, free to attend on the trade show floor, BUILDEX main stage. It's going to be a very important and engaging conversation on dismantling architecture and design. So we have a very popular speaker that's spoken at many of our prior events in the Informa Connect community, Ian Rolston, with Decanthropy, Sabine Grimes from Unison Design, and architect Vance Harris. So it'll all be about creating equity and structural equity in the design and the buildings that we build, right? So when you think of luxury design and the impact that may have in the architecture community, it'll be all about building for the new world that reflects inclusivity and design.
Okay, and correct me if I'm wrong, but last year was the first year back from COVID for BUILDEX, right? I believe I went to that one.
That was it.
Or am I incorrect on that?
No, you're right. That was we've been out market for a couple of years, so that was there was a lot of pent up demand for that. So really strong year. Was very glad to see a lot of our audience back in person after such a big break. Obviously, we're lucky enough that we're not in that situation anymore. We're back to a more normal environment. So it's been great to kind of get planning with a bit more certainty in mind, and knowing that we can bring people together in the same way that we have in the past, which is probably actually quite like a nice segue in terms of we've got a lot of features, Warren, which I think you wanted to talk about a little bit. So we'll come back to those. But we were really excited to announce that the return by popular demand is the BUILDEX industry networking reception. So this is a pre-pandemic favorite backed by popular demand, but with a bit of a twist. So many of our attendees from the past may remember, large industry networking reception that we used to host on level 200. So this event's coming back. It is open to all attendees, all exhibitors, sponsors, speakers, and guests of BUILDEX. It's the end of day 1. It's down on the trade show floor. So that's a little bit of twist from before. 4:30 to 6 p.m. So we're going a little bit longer at the central bar on the trade show floor. Complimentary drinks, live music, networking. Again, open to all attendees. All you need is a minimum of a trade show pass to get in. So also really great if you can't attend during the day of the conference and the exhibition itself. Come down at the end of day 1. The show floor is still going to be open, so you can still take a tour around, see what's on offer, and then come back to the central bar and have a complimentary drink with your industry peers. And then because we're talking a little bit about that, Central Bar, many of our guests from last year, and if you've been on social media, if you hadn't attended, you may have caught this also in the media. But we had our Central Bar was that was a first time we'd launched that feature and having a large space build out. So the our sponsor Cosentino's back this year with Stone Decoded, which is them and their design partners Nick Cram Studio have come up with this new concept. The feature includes two innovative service bars using vertical alternating slabs offset against each other with an interactive playland tic-tac-toe game and seated gathering space. So that's going to be the location for the BUILDEX industry networking reception, then also kind of bar service throughout the event, and really just helps as that gathering point right in the middle of the trade show floor.
Now, last year when I went, I did a video about the regrow installation, which was sort of an art installation and also a way to show you reusing wood products. Is there anything of that similar ilk where it's more of a sort of a design showcase in the form of an installation, or are you doing something different this year?
Yeah, actually, we are doing something different. So from the design showcase, the Stone Decoded from Cosentino is definitely worth checking out. I've seen the renderings for that, and they really look fantastic. So really can't wait to see how that comes to life on the trade show floor. But we did take a slightly different approach with features this year. So as you know, and as our audience will know as well, the Lower Mainland is facing a construction workforce shortfall of about 17,500 workers by 2029, and then when we expand to BC as a whole, that looks like 23,000 over the same time period. And then, this BUILDEX is a show for the whole building industry, as we know. So when we look outside of construction and we move to engineering and real estate and other professionals in our audience, we know that workforce crisis worsens even further. So as Western Canada's largest event connecting the whole build industry, we're uniquely positioned to help in this during this crisis. So so this year we're actually launching a feature called the Workforce Solutions Centre. The title sponsor for this feature is the BC Construction Association, and the whole idea of this is that it's a destination at the heart of the show floor for employers, employees, job seekers, industry associations, government partners, where they can find each other. And so the aim for the Workforce Solutions Centre is to provide or to facilitate the exchange of information and connections and solutions to help all these stakeholders tackle the workforce crisis. So perhaps you're looking for government funding options to help upskill your staff, or maybe you're looking for recruitment solutions, and we know it's really competitive out there, or maybe you're on the other side of the coin and you're looking for apprenticeship opportunities or career coaching, or then there's so many different ways that we've got so many different partners involved in this feature that they can help out in so many different ways depending on what they're doing. So there's 9 different partners of the Workforce Solutions Centre. You've got the BC Construction Association themselves, plus their 4 programs: the Skilled Trades Apprenticeship Program, or STEP, Builders Code, Building Builders, and BC Integrating Newcomers. We have Government of BC's Work BC are there, and then you've got the BC Centre for Women in Trades, and then also finally you've got the Construction Employment Consultant Specialist, a few good lads. They're involved in that feature as well. So that's going to be a really nice focal point. Really excited to bring that onto life, especially at such a crucial time for this industry.
And BUILDEX has always sort of informally been about that, like people network and they find ways to find jobs through attending. But this is the first time you've done it formally, right?
Absolutely. So this is the first time we've launched this particular feature, and had such a focus on that, and this really reflects that 4th theme we talked about at the beginning, the workforce solutions, and then really how that links back into the local crisis within Western Canada. But we also recognize Warren, I think you mentioned that you'd been to the show in Calgary, BUILDEX Alberta. This is a feature we'll be taking there. We have a sister show in Toronto called the Building Show, and they had something a little bit similar called a community hub out there as well. We really recognize the fact that this workforce shortfall is going to be an issue that's not just with us now, it's been with us already, and it's going to last well into the future as well. And so, as I said, we are uniquely positioned to really help out in this scenario. And so really grateful to BC Construction Association for getting on board and helping back this, and just launching it this year and building it from there, taking it to Calgary in October and hopefully beyond.
Okay, and my final question is, you're going to have a prop tech showcase. So maybe you can explain what prop tech is and why you chose to highlight it this year.
That's a great question, Warren. So when we did our research, we listened to feedback and heard that our industry wanted opportunities to see new technologies, specifically in the property management technology space. So as a result, we created this exciting showcase. It'll be from noon to 1 on Thursday, February 16th at our tech-centric stage, free to attend. If you haven't seen these before, they're lots of fun. It's like a Dragon's Den, Shark Tank style pitch and cross-examination session. We'll have 5-minute pitches from different innovative companies, and then they'll be cross-examined by a panel of industry experts and leaders. So if you're not sure what prop tech is, we'll have innovations such as building automation and integration solutions, things focusing on smart buildings, property rental and maintenance management platforms, asset utilization tools, and then software techniques and new technologies that focus on ESG reporting and automation. So a lot of building owners are really looking to get that ESG score down. So we want to focus on some companies that can help them with that.
Okay, and finally, if people want to know more, and I would assume they are if they're listening to this, where do they go to learn more about the show itself and to register if they want to do so?
Yeah, no problem. So 2 weeks to go. So registration is very much open. Encourage you to move to buildexvancouver.com, or you can follow us on @BuildexShows or #BuildexVancouver. And then one of the related to registration, this year we have secured discounted rates for the Canucks versus New York Rangers game that's happening after day one. So, and we're also giving away a pair of tickets during the industry networking reception too. So really great way to come down to Buildex on Wednesday and then finalize your day by heading off to the game after the industry networking reception.
Okay, James, Jordan, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Warren. Yeah.